Good morning to all. Welcome to my channel. Today we will be discussing the important subject financial management under that working capital management. As you know that working capital, the basic concept as a layman concept, what is that? Your running cash requirement to make good your regular activities payment. Like that your raw material payment, your staff salary payment, your house rent payment, your this related your business related expenditure, that is your working capital. Now working capital comes what way in business angle? This is net of current assets and current liabilities. Which are current assets? These are the stocks, debtors and cash. Current liabilities your creditors and tax liabilities. So why the net of that we are taking? That means your fund blocked here and they are the provider of this fund. So this is the net of these things. Net of these things we are taking the working capital. Now we will be discussing how the working capital flows continue. So in a manufacturing organization, it starts from cash or bank balance. So cash converts to raw materials. Once you purchase the material, if your cash converts to raw material, then raw material stage, when your production starts, it will go to the production process. One portion is left in the stage of WIP, because at a time all should not be the finished goods. So some fund will be blocked here in your working capital stage. Then again working capital go to your finished goods stage. Finished goods to convert to sales only. If it is cash sale, direct cash will come. If it is debtors, through or bills receivable, from that again back to cash. So this is the cycle. So this is the movement of your working capital. Now we have to understand that how the working capital estimate can be done. So as you know that working capital, your current assets, so the stock, debtors and cash, how to estimate? Similarly current liabilities, how creditors and tax liabilities, we have to estimate for that. You see that your under estimation of working capital first you have to your under that your raw material estimates under stock under that raw materials estimates. How we are to raw material estimates? Budgeted production in units multiplied by cost of raw material per unit into average inventory holding period. How long? In general, in average, you hold the inventory in the form of raw material. It is in the month or day basis be possible. Okay. So this is your raw material part, one component. Number two, your WIP, what we can call the work in progress. So here also this formula, this budgeted production, definitely it will be in units only. Then your into estimated WIP cost per unit into average item span of WIP inventory. It may be in months or days also. Okay. So now third component will be your finished goods. So how the finished goods? There also this is budgeted production in units into cost of goods produced per unit excluding depreciation being the non-cash item into finished goods holding period. This will be months or days. So this will be your stock part under the working capital estimations complete. So now will we go for the second important component of your working capital. This will be your debtors. So how your debtors components you will make it? Number 2, your debtors. Here also budgeted production, credit sales units into cost of sales per unit excluding depreciation, non-cash item, into average collection period month. How much you are allowing time period to your debtors. So that is the thing. Number 5, your cash and bank balance. So this will be the minimum cash balance to hold. So these are the 4 components of your current assets. We have explained how you have to estimate these things. Now you have to estimation of your current liabilities. So current liability major components your trade creditors, then here also formula budgeted yearly production into raw material cost per unit into credit period allowed by creditors. This will be for months / days. So this is there. So second component of your current liabilities is your direct wages. So which are direct wages? That is budgeted yearly production into direct labor cost per unit into average time lag in making payment of wages. So now you understand that your trade creditors and direct labor estimations under current liabilities has been done. Now we have to make it for your third component, that is your overhead. Budgeted yearly production into overhead cost per unit into average time lag of payment of overhead. This is there. Last one is your tax liability, that is goods and service tax production yearly into GST per unit into average time lag in making payment of GST. So now you understand that your all total of your estimations, both your current assets and current liabilities. If you make in this way of format, so how your format will come? then determination of working capital. So it will start with your number 1, minimum cash and bank balance required, that is one figure. Add inventory components as we have calculated, RMA how much, WIP how much, then finished goods how much. Taking together your inventory cost comes, then comes your debtors. This is sum total. These are all your current assets less current liabilities out of your creditors as you have calculated above. Then your wages, that is labor payment, then your overhead, this is one payment, then your goods and service tax liability payment, that is there. So this figure, your total, your current liabilities, this figure, but after that net figure will be the working capital part. So this working capital, whatever balance of this working capital comes, you have to add with some margin of safety. You have to add it, that will be your net working capital requirement. Why you are making this margin of safety? Because since it is an estimation, you have to give some buffer, some extra amount for our safety purpose. We are adding it so that in case our calculation doesn't stand some portions, it will help us at least for the shortage of working capital. Your organizations will not stand still. आज के लिए हमने इतना डिस्कशंस कर दिया, टोटल कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ वर्किंग कैपिटल एंड हाउ द वर्किंग कैपिटल एस्टिमेट डन. In my subsequent video, I will give these things, what are the details of your working capital calculation, practical problems for that. आज के लिए इतना तक. हमने आज के लिए वीडियो इधर एंड कर रहा हूँ. हैव ए गुड डे.